Hello you fantastic people, and welcome back to Borderlands 3, to a super exciting video which I'm so keen to bring to you guys. I've collected every single legendary weapon in Borderlands 3. I'm going to show you guys all the dedicated drop locations for every single one. This one is just going to be for SMGs. I'm going to make one for pistols, assault rifles, shotguns, all the way down to artifacts, shields, all that stuff. In this video I'm going to show you guys on the map where each boss is for the dedicated drops. I'm going to run from the closest news station to the boss so you guys can know where to find them. If it's a quest reward, I'm going to show you guys all the steps necessary to get that mission reward and where to find the mission, all that stuff for you guys. I'll tell you whether or not it comes in any elemental types, if it comes in non-elemental, if it can come anointed, and if it drops in a world drop system or if it's just dedicated to that particular boss as well. Also, just quickly, I know there's a whole bunch of different players watching this video. Might be new players, might be regular players, or people that haven't played for quite a while. Dedicated drop rates are not changed whatsoever by luck from Guardian ranks, artifacts. It's not changed by your Mayhem level. It's not changed from whether or not you're in normal Vault Hunter, True Vault Hunter, or if they bring out a new one. It's not going to be changed by that whatsoever. It's set all the time. The only difference is if you're in a higher Mayhem level, the damage will change on the weapon, or your anointment chance for that on that weapon will be increased. But the weapon drop rate itself will stay the same. So how the system works, some bosses have several legendary weapons in their loot pool. For example, the average is probably around about 3 per boss. So say the dedicated drop rate is about 10%. Every 10% of the farms, it's going to drop one of those dedicated legendaries, and it's going to randomly roll between one of those 3. Sometimes you can get absolutely shafted and maybe go up to 50 runs without getting one of the ones you're particularly looking for. So sometimes it can take a really long time to farm for dedicated drops, but it's going to be a lot faster than farming for the world drop system if you guys are looking for a specific anointment. And just quickly before we get into the dedicated drops, these videos have taken the longest I've ever put into a video whatsoever. So if you guys enjoy it or find it helpful whatsoever, I'd really appreciate if you guys could smash subscribe down below, hit that bell. YouTube will notify you whenever I post a video. If you like and share the video, help the channel grow even more, and I'd really appreciate it. And if you guys want to come check us out over on Twitch, I stream live every single night just after I post my YouTube videos. That's always linked down below in the description, or you can just search CodeMQ on Twitch. My name's the same on all my social media. Also, on top of these videos, I'm going to make separate videos just for the DLC weapons, mostly because the DLCs aren't all released yet, as well as the seasonal events, so those will be separated. And if you're watching this video a little bit later, might already be linked in the description. You're more than welcome to check it out there. But yeah, let's get into the dedicated drops. I go by manufacturer order. That's just the default in the backpack, but I will also timestamp all of them in the top comment and the description down below, so it'll save you a bunch of time. You can just skip to whatever weapon you're particularly looking for. Okay, we're going to start off with the Dial SMGs. There is a whole bunch of them, and we're going to start with the Nighthook and SMG. This thing only comes in cryo, does not come in non-elemental, and doesn't come in the other elements, but it does come with anointments. This thing also has 2 different dedicated drop spots, which we're going to show you both, and I'd recommend one in particular, but it can also world drop at the same time. So the first one would be the one I'd recommend. That one is the crew challenge boss, the Demo Skaggins. There are 2 of them, and both of them have a chance to drop the Nighthook. And the alternative would be the rare spawn enemy that's no longer a rare spawn, is Rackman. One, I wouldn't recommend that because a much further run to get to that farm. You actually have to drive there. Secondly, they're an annoying as heck boss. They teleport all the time, and there's only one of them. So for efficiency, I would highly recommend farming the Demo Skaggins unless you're already farming Rackman for one of his other dedicated drops at the same time. So if you're going to farm the Demo Skaggins, you want to go to Pandora, then to the Drought location from the fast travel called literally the Drought, which is currently where we're at. You jump in a car, just drive straight up here, make this jump, it's not too difficult, and then stop at this new station, which is currently where we're at. The first time you'd have a car, but every other time you would spawn here and there's no catch a ride close by. So I'll show you guys the run. We switched to Amara just so we have faster running abilities, but if you guys are any other character, Zane has some good movement speed, but the other 2 maybe use a Snowdrift artifact for some faster running for this one. And yeah, this is the area, the crew challenge boss for the Demo Skaggins. There we go. These guys, once they finally come down, the Demo Skaggins have 2 dedicated drops, including the Nighthook, which is currently in my hand, as well as the Monocle Sniper Rifle. So there's only 2 dedicated drops to get from these guys, and there's 2 of them. One there and one over there. So it actually isn't too difficult to get either of the weapons if you farm this location. Rackman's dedicated drop, you're going to want to go to Pandora first, then to the Carnivora area, which is currently where we're at. From the fast travel station, unfortunately, it is a super long hike. You'll have to go through this entire bandit camp area. There are a few gates. Don't bother killing all the enemies if you don't want to. You can just run up to the gates and they will open. Run all the way through this area. You'll have to jump. There's an elevator down this way and then up this one. You'll have to go 2 elevators. They take a while, unfortunately. That's the news station just there, the closest one, unfortunately. You'll have to get in a car still from that location. Use Amara's spiritual drive to get there a little faster. Jump in a catch a ride. Still have to use a catch a ride because it takes a long time to get there. Otherwise, just turn left and do a jump off these ramps. Now, sometimes it's supposed to show every time, but there's supposed to be a Rackman symbol in the air. It's a Batman reference, of course. Rackman's entire existence is Batman reference. It doesn't always show for some reason. It might be to do with the fact he was originally a rare spawn, and he used that to show if he was spawning or not. But now that rare spawns aren't a thing and he spawns all the time, we don't have to worry about it, to be honest. Just keep following this path here, go around to the right, and you'll find the entrance to Rackman. You have to ditch the car at this point, jump out and run in. But it lets me jump. Come on, Amara, why are you so short? There we go. Get over these rocks here, and Rackman will be at the back. He spawns at the door just here. Unfortunately, he's a little bit of an annoying boss farm. He does have way too much dodging abilities. He does also teleport, but he does have 3 dedicated drops, including the Nighthook, which is currently what we're holding. He also has the Nightfly pistol, which only drops from him. It's not in the world drop system, as well as the Safeguard artifact. So all 3 of those can drop from this guy in his dedicated loot pool. Up next, we have the Kratos EMP5. This SMG only comes in non-elemental, no elementals whatsoever, but it does come with anointments. It actually has a few dedicated drop spots, including the melee one takedown being the Valkyries and Wotan. Both of them can drop it, though it is pretty rare because both of them have a lot of dedicated drops. So I'd also recommend farming the dedicated drop spot outside the melee one takedown, being Agonizer 9000. Also should mention that Kratos EMP5 was released with the melee one takedown, so it cannot well drop. It only comes from those 3 dedicated drop spots. As for Agonizer 9000's dedicated drops, go to Pandora first, then down to the Guts of Carnivora. From the fast travel station, it is unfortunately quite a hike. If we zoom out here, it is quite a large bandit camp, but there is only one way to go. So just run your way through this entire thing. I don't ever bother killing them all because they just take way too long. Once you get all the way up to where I currently am, there is a news station right next to the Agonizer 9000 boss fight. There's also an ammo dump just here. Agonizer 9000 does have 4 dedicated drops in his loot pool, including the Kratos EMP5 SMG, the Dictator Assault Rifle, as well as the Damned Assault Rifle, and an artifact called the White Elephant. There are 4 dedicated drops total, so it does take a little while to get the one you're looking for, particularly if you're going for a good anointment. But Agonizer is a great place to get a bunch of world drop legendaries at the same time. Now, as for the melee one takedown, including the Valkyrie Sword and Wotan, if you guys have never done it before, from Marcus's place right here, you'll have to have completed the game first, and I believe the lowest you can spawn on is level 50, but this spot right here is where you'll accept the melee one takedown mission. Once you guys have accepted the mission, you've taken the Sanctuary ship to Midnight's Khan via the control panel thing on the bridge. You guys will have unlocked the Midnight's Khan area. This area is the entire boss fight arena mobbing, just absolute mayhem is what this area is. Now, as for the melee one takedown, both Valkyrie Squad and Wotan have a bunch of dedicated drops. I'm not going to read them all out, but I'll show them on screen. Both Wotan and Valkyrie share some dedicated drops, and then Valkyrie Squad have an extra 2 shields that are separated just to them as their dedicated drops, and then Wotan has a bunch of extra ones just for him as well. So I'll show them all on screen if you guys want to read through them, but you're more than welcome to pause the video now because I'm going to keep going through. If I read through them all, it's going to make this video a lot longer, and you already know how long this video is, so we don't want to make that longer. Up next, we have the giant SMG by Dial. This thing comes in non-elemental, fire, corrosive, and shock, aka it cannot come in radiation or cryo. This thing does also come with anointments and does drop in the world drop system, but the dedicated drop spot for it is One Punch. As for where to find One Pump, he's located in Promethea in Electra City. If you guys haven't been to Electra City before, if you're brand new to the game, you can find a mission how to unlock it in Meridian Metroplex. It's a mission originally given to you by Moxie to go 1v1 Kilovolt. It's a whole fun mission. Would recommend doing it. Plus, you unlock Electra City for the first time. From the fast travel station, if you guys have already done this, this is the fast travel station. Just go to the left here, run all the way along this edge where it's highlighted blue till you get to the very top left where I currently am located. Here is the closest news station. You're gonna have to run down these stairs. We'll use the spiritual driver to get there super quick. Run down all these stairs, turn around, and you'll go down the underground area. In underneath this little creepy, train station, I guess is what it originally was. Come into this spot here. There you go, I just dealt with the annoying psychos. This door is where One Punch will spawn. Now there is a code to unlock him. He will spawn every single time, but you have to know how to unlock it. So essentially the code is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is a bunch of different codes of how to do it, but I hear the fastest way to do it is 5, 5, and 4. Please correct me or add extra codes in the comment section down below if you guys have a faster method or just a different method. The one I use is lever, lever, and then the wheel, and he'll spawn every single time. One Punch is no joke. He will one tap you every single time If he hits you, you are going down guaranteed. So you have to kill him really, really quick or be really fast at running away and don't get hit. He drops the Sleeping Giant, which he's dropped for us immediately, which is really helpful. But also the One Pump Chump is also his other dedicated drop. So only 2 dedicated drops in his loot pool make it pretty easy to farm. He's not too far from the news station, and it's not a difficult farm as long as you don't get hit. Up next, we have the Hellfire. This thing has the coolest flame skin on it ever. Kind of reminds me of the shirts you used to wear when you were 8 years old. This thing only comes in fire, because hence it's called the Hellfire. It does come in anointed drops, but it doesn't drop in the world drop system. The dedicated drop spot for it is the Jabba Mugwire. Now, as for the Jabba Mugwire's dedicated drops, you want to go to first Eden 6, then halfway down you'll find a Ferocious Canopy. From the fast roll station, it's a little bit of a hike. If we scroll out here, you'll see from the fast roll station, just follow the blue highlighted zone around to the left, all the way through this big open area and get to this location here. That is the new station which we're currently at. And then go to the left, you'll find a Jabba Mugwire's hut just there. Jabba Mugwire has 3 dedicated drops, including the Hellfire, the Lead Sprinkler, as well as the Magnificent Pistol. Though you don't actually have to fight your way through 3 dedicated drops if you're farming for either the Magnificent or the Lead Sprinkler. What I mean by that is if you're going for the Hellfire SMG, it is actually a guaranteed drop. If you kill this guy with fire, he'll drop it every single time. It has to be the original Jabba Mugwire. If you guys haven't found this guy before, if you damage him with any cryo weapons, grenades, anything like that, will actually multiply into an extra one, an extra one, an extra one, and it'll go on forever until you likely spawn too many and the game crashes. So don't do that, but you can multiply them to get increased dedicated drops of the other 2, being the Lead Sprinkler and the Magnificent Pistol. Those 2, you can kill him in any other method as long as it's not fire. It'll have a chance to drop one of those 2 dedicated drops. So if you're going for either of those 2, it's a pretty simple farm because you can multiply them. Saves you having to save and quit if you're on console, and if you're on PC, it's just generally faster anyway. So those 2 are pretty simple to get because there's only 2 dedicated drops and a bunch of enemies, and the Hellfire is literally guaranteed, so that is extremely easy to get. The Shocking 9V is up next. This thing only comes in the shock variant, no non-elementals or any other variants, hence it's called the Shocking 9V. It does come in anointments, but it does not drop in the world drop system, and only dedicated drop is Kilovolt. Now, as for Kilovolt's dedicated drops, go to Promethea and then Electricity. If you haven't done the Kilovolt mission before, you won't have unlocked Electricity. You can unlock it via Meridian Metroplex. There's a Moxie mission there that you can obtain. Complete that, it's not too difficult, and then you open the Electricity area, which is currently where we are at. From the fast roll station, it is on the other side of the map. If we spin it correctly, there we go. This is where you start off. Just get out of this area, run to the left, and follow this whole side down here to get down here, and then follow this blue highlighted area to get to where I currently am at the very top of the map, which is this new station right here. You enter from down there, and then run in here. There's an ammo dump and all, and jump down. You will find Kilovolt. This is the boss you want to farm if you're looking for the 9V dedicated drop, the Transformer, or the Moxie's Bouncing Pear Grenade. Up next, we have the Vanquisher Dull SMG. This thing comes in all elemental variants, including a non-elemental, which you can see on screen. It does also drop with anointments, and it does drop in the world drop system. But if you want to farm for a perfect anointment, the dedicated drop spot is the Power Troopers. Now, as for where to find the Power Troopers, first go to Promethea, then down to Atlas HQ, which is currently where we are at. From the map location, this is the fast travel station. Usually in the story, it makes you run out, go around to the right, all the way around to get up onto the balcony. There is a much faster method of getting there, which I'll show you guys right now. From the Atlas HQ fast travel station, just run outside, go up these stairs. Rather than turning right, turn left immediately and head towards this little ledge right here. It is kind of difficult to do this every single time because I'm a derp, but if you aim at this thing, run at it and jump, you can do this with any character, by the way. There you go, I failed straight away. This time, there we go, second time lucky, we land on this thing and you can climb straight up and you don't have to run all the way around. It'll save you like 2 minutes per farm, which is great. The Power Troopers spawn from here. They are a Power Rangers reference, of course, so there are 5 of them. Each of them have a chance to drop any of their dedicated drops. I'll go into photo mode so I don't die while explaining this, but there are 8 dedicated drops split between them. There are a lot, so I'm going to read through the list for you guys. There is an assault rifle called the Star Helix, which is the first one. There are 3 SMGs, including the Vanquisher, the Spinner, and the Hyper Focus, as well as a pistol called the Thunderbolt Fists. There's also a shield called the Nova Burner, and 2 grenades, one called the Surge and one called the Transfusion Grenade. You can get any and all of those legendary weapons dedicated to these guys. It sounds like there's a lot and too many for one boss, but there is actually 5 bosses. So on average, I'm pretty sure there's less legendaries dedicated to these guys than there are for most, or if not all, of the bosses in this game. Up next, we have the Ripper SMG Biodel. This thing has a knife on it that constantly is leaking whatever that is. It does come in any elemental prefix, elemental variant even, including non-elemental, which you can see on screen. This thing also comes with anointments and has 2 dedicated drop spots, whilst on top of that dropping in the world drop system. This thing does drop in the System of Slaughter via the boss. I'll show it on screen because I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce it. Does drop from them though. Wouldn't recommend using the System of Slaughter method unless you're already doing it anyway. I'd much rather recommend the Crew Challenge boss, Broad Mother, because they're a much faster farm if you're just going for the Ripper. As for Broad Mother's dedicated drops, you want to go to first Necrotify, then Pyre of Stars. Unfortunately, is a really long run from the fast travel station. Looking at the map, you'd think you'd just be able to go straight and then to the right, but you can't, unfortunately. You have to go all the way around through the left, all the way through all this entire banded area, which you can just skip. I just sprinted through all of them. This point where we currently are is the new station that is closest to Broad Mother. If you run through here, we'll use Spiritual Drive, just get there a little quicker, or you can just use a Snowdrift if you're on a different character. And Broad Mother jumps out here. Broad Mother does have 3 dedicated drops in the game, including the Ripper, the Scourge, and the Baby Maker Plus. I will also mention there's currently a glitch in the game that's been in there for a while, which hopefully gets patched, but Broad Mother currently doesn't spawn every single time like they're supposed to, because they are a Crew Challenge boss. Hopefully that gets patched out soon, but if you're watching it now and you're expecting to farm it straight away, it may be currently glitched and may not work for you every single time, unfortunately. Alternatively, if you don't want to go for the Broad Mother method, there is actually a boss in the System of Slaughter that drops the exact same dedicated drops, which is fantastic. If you guys would rather do the System of Slaughter, it is in Promethea. If you've already been there, you can immediately just fast travel to the System of Slaughter. If you haven't been there before, go Meridian Metroplex. It's kind of hard to show on the map. It's the one in the middle just here, the map transition. So you'll actually have to go underground to get there. From the fast travel station, just drive out, turn left, go underground, come out this side, and then do a loop back this way, and you'll go underground this spot just here. If you can see it underground here, that is the map transition for it just there. The boss you're looking for, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'll show on the bottom of the screen. That one spawns halfway through the end of round 5, so you guys can farm that one. If you don't know how to already, if you down yourself on the end of round 5 before the last enemy is killed, or if you just fast travel back to the fast travel station of the System of Slaughter, don't go anywhere else, don't fast travel to Sanctuary, otherwise you will fail it. But if you go straight back here, you'll just fail round 5, you'll go back to the new station, and then you can just start from the start of round 5 without having to do the first 4 rounds and all the waves in the first 4 rounds again, which saves you like at least half an hour, 35 minutes each time. Up next, we have the Handsome Jackhammer SMG. This thing talks like Handsome Jack, by the way, so whenever you're using it randomly, it will start talking like Handsome Jack. It does come in any and all elemental types, including non-elemental. As you can see, it comes with anointments, and it is in the world drop system, but it does have a dedicated drop spot of Handsome Jackie. Now, as for where to find Handsome Jackie, first you want to go to Promethea, then to Skywell 27. It's an extremely long run, unfortunately, from the fast travel station. It is all the way up here, and you want to make it down to there. There is only one real way to run through the whole way of Skywell 27, so at least you shouldn't get lost at least. Once you go downstairs, you want to be looking for this location. Where I currently am is a new use station, which you can proc. That's the big area with the death spheres from the main campaign. You want to run outside, use Spiritual Drive to get there a little bit faster, and without downing yourself, jump off this ledge and make it over there without falling off that way. Then, in here, you'll find Handsome Jackie. They are, of course, a Handsome Jack reference, hence the Handsome Jack mask. The dedicated drops for this one is the Handsome Jackhammer SMG, which talks like Handsome Jack. There's also the Nimble Jack shotgun, which she's currently holding, as well as the Hyperion Face Puncher shotgun. Can be a little annoying to get the perfect roll you want, because there are 3 dedicated drops. Can take a little while, but the fight can be an extremely quick one as long as you're doing enough damage. Try and get them down before they have a chance to spawn their death sphere, because that way they get their shield regen, and it's kind of really difficult to kill them after that. So try and do enough damage, and then it should be a pretty easy farm from there. Up next, we have the SMG that starts with B and is made by Hyperion, but I ain't gonna say out loud. It does come in every elemental type, including non-elemental, like you can see on screen. It does also come with anointments and is in the world drop system. The dedicated drop spot for this one is Tyrene the Destroyer. Now, as for where to find Tyrene, it is pretty simple. You do have to have completed the game already. Go to Pandora, then down to Destroyer's Rift, which is currently where we are. It is essentially just an area for this boss fight. You spawn it just here, turn around, there's also an ammo dump there if you need it. jump down into the boss fight arena, and that is where you'll find Tyreen the Destroyer. Now, Tyreen has 3 dedicated drops if you count the King/Queen's Call as 1 dedicated drop, as well as the Auto Artifact and the SMG that starts with B and is made by Hyperion, but I ain't gonna say it out loud. So there's 3 dedicated drops as well as a bunch of world drop legendaries. She can be a difficult and annoying boss fight if you're not doing enough damage, because those immune stages mean it can take a boss fight from 45 seconds to 3 to 5 minutes. It can be very irritating, but this boss does drop a bunch of legendaries, and there's some good dedicateds in there, so hopefully it's not too long for you guys. Up next, we have the Hyper Focus SMG. This thing comes with every elemental type, including non-elemental, and as you can see down the bottom, it does come with anointments. It is also in the world drop system, but the dedicated drop spot for this one is the Power Troopers. You guys are going to have to go to Promethea and then to Atlas HQ, which is currently where we are. This is the fast travel station just here, and there's actually a really quick way to farm them relative to what most people would think. From the fast travel station, usually in the story, it makes you run out here all the way around, up these stairs, and back all the way in. But you actually don't have to do that. I'll show you guys from the fast travel station just here. Run out this door, up the stairs, and then rather than turning right like you do in the story, you immediately turn left and head towards this balcony/platform thing up here. You guys are going to be farming the Power Troopers. They were originally a rare spawn enemy in the game, but now spawn every single time. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it first try. From the garden bed, run at that platform right there, and then jump as you get to it. Perfect. Usually you can get it every time. I'm just a bit of a derp. Then run towards this roof just here. You're going to be farming the Power Troopers, like I said, which are of course a Power Rangers reference. Sometimes if you shoot there, they come down a little bit faster. Now these guys do have 8 dedicated drops total, which is a crazy high number. It's the most dedicated drops of any one enemy, but the thing is, there's not one of them. There's 5. They can all drop any of the 8 at any given time. They usually drop multiple at the same time because there's 5 of them. They all have a chance to drop any of the dedicated drops. Like I said, there is 8 dedicated drops, so I'm going to read through the list for you guys. There are 2 grenades, being the Transfusion Grenade and the Surge. There is a shield called the Nova Burner. There's also 3 SMGs, including the Hyper Focus, the Spinner, as well as the Vanquisher. There's also the pistol, of course, which we're farming for, the Thunderbolt Fists, and there's also an assault rifle called the Star Helix that all drop from one of these 5 guys. So total 8 is a very high number for dedicated drops for one boss, but because there's 5 of them, if you spread it out, it's actually on average less per enemy here to farm, so it actually shouldn't be too difficult of a farm for you guys. Up next, we have the Redistributor by Hyperion. This thing comes with all elemental types, but not non-elemental. It also comes with anointments and isn't in the world drop system. It can only drop from Wotan or the Valkyrie squad with the Melee 1 takedown. Now, as for the Melee 1 takedown, including the Valkyrie squad and Wotan, if you guys have never done it before, from Marcus's place right here, you'll have to have completed the game first, and I believe the lowest you can spawn on is level 50, but this spot right here is where you'll accept the Melee 1 takedown mission. Once you guys have accepted the mission, you've taken the Sanctuary ship to Midnight's Khan via the control panel thing on the bridge. You guys will have unlocked the Midnight's Khan area. This area is the entire boss fight arena mobbing, just absolute mayhem is what this area is. Now, as for the Melee 1 takedown, both Valkyrie squad and Wotan have a bunch of dedicated drops. I'm not going to read them all out, but I'll show them on screen. Both Wotan and Valkyrie share some dedicated drops, and then Valkyrie squad have an extra 2 shields that are separated just to them as their dedicated drops, and then Wotan has a bunch of extra ones just for him as well. So I'll show them all on screen if you guys want to read through them, but you're more than welcome to pause the video now because I'm going to keep going through. If I read through them all, it's going to make this video a lot longer, and you already know how long this video is, so we don't want to make that longer. Up next, we have the Predatory Lending SMG made by Hyperion. This thing drops in radiation, fire, and shock elemental types. It doesn't drop in cryo or corrosive, unfortunately, but it does drop in non-elemental. It does come with anointments, but it isn't in the world drop system at all, so the only spot where you can obtain this weapon is Lavender Crowley. Now, as for obtaining this one, it actually unlocks super early in the game in the Pandora planet in the Droughts area from the fast travel station, literally called the Droughts, which is currently where we are. You guys want to go to the Catch a Ride station just here, hop in a vehicle of any kind. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a hike from the new station for this farm compared to most farms. Once you go to the left here, you want to go all the way to the back of the map in this direction. You'll have to jump out of the car at this stage. Lavender Crowley is a crew challenge boss if you don't block yourself with the car. He's a crew challenge boss, or they're a crew challenge boss, that actually splits into different buckets. It starts as one large bucket. Once you kill that one, it spawns into two, and then once you kill those two, they split into another two each. So there'll be four at the end, all with a chance to drop the lineage pistol. It comes with a bunch of different prefixes to the gun, but also on top of that, they have a chance to drop the Predatory Lending, which is another legendary weapon. So there's only 2 legendaries in the loot pool, which relatively isn't too bad compared to the rest of the bosses in the game. Up next, we have the Crossroads SMG. This thing comes in every elemental type except non-elemental. You can get it with anointments, like you can see down the bottom there, and it is in the world drop system. But if you guys want to farm for the dedicated drop spot for the best of the best one, you guys can farm this one at Katagawa Jr. Now, as for where to find Katagawa Jr., first you want to go to Promethea, then Atlas HQ towards the bottom here. From the fast travel station, it is a bit of a hike. That's currently where we are. We want to make it all the way to the back of the map and upstairs to this area just here. There is a little bit faster way to go from the new station though. You want to go, rather than to the right like you do in the main campaign, you want to run to the left. If you guys have seen how to get to the power troopers, this is the fastest way also. That ledge just there, we'll see if we can do it from the first try. From the garden bed, look at that, run it and jump. Press jump again and climb over the railing here. That is the fastest way to get up and around. From here, you'll find the power troopers and you want to run just straight through them. From here though, just go around the balcony, come up this way and run all the way down this building until you make it towards the back, where you'll get an elevator that takes you all the way up to the top. Once you get up the elevator, you'll make it to this area here. Just run straight out the elevator till you make it to where we currently are, just straight down that hallway. You'll find a new station just there, an ammo dump to the right, and then just jump down this hole and you will find the Katagawa Jr. boss fight. This guy does drop 3 dedicated drops, including the Storm Sniper Rifle, the Firestorm Sniper Rifle, as well as the Crossroads SMG. So it can take a little while to farm because he does have some weird immunity stages, but hopefully it doesn't take you guys too long to farm this one. Up next, we have the Cloudkill SMG by Melywon. This thing only comes in corrosive, no other elementals whatsoever, and doesn't come in non-elemental either. I haven't seen an anointment drop on it ever, so please let me know in the comment section down below if you guys have got this one anointed. It is not in the world drop system because this one is a quest reward. The only way you can obtain this one is by completing the Rampager mission. I believe it is Beneath the Meridian is what it's called. Once you complete that one, or just before you complete it, there is an option to go talk to Ava rather than going to talk to Lilith to complete the mission. If you actually spend the time to go talk to Ava first before talking to Lilith, you'll get given this one as a quest reward upon completion. Up next, we have all of the Melywon SMGs, starting with the Westergun. This thing comes with every elemental type, but doesn't drop in non-elemental, unfortunately. This thing also comes with anointments, as you can see down the bottom, but it isn't in the world drop system. AKA, the only place you can obtain this weapon, the only dedicated drop spot, is Private Beans. The only way you can farm Private Beans is by completing a quest for Ava. That mission is obtainable as soon as you get Ava back to Sanctuary. It's a very easy mission to do, and there's no secret steps whatsoever. Just complete the mission as normal, and then you'll be able to fight Private Beans. Now, once you've made it past that vaguely irritating Ava mission, you can farm Private Beans in Athenas area. From the drop pod, it is again quite a walk as everything is in Athenas. Currently, we are all the way up here in this new station. From the fast travel station, just run all the way through. Don't worry about all the mobs if you don't want to. You can run all the way through. There's only one direction to go. To get to here, there's also an ammo dump there if you need it. It is the closest new station to Private Beans. If you are flak or anyone with slow movement speed, I suggest getting a Snowdrift if you're going to farm this regularly for this spot. Otherwise, if you're a Mara, just use Spiritual Driver, get there quick, or Zane also has some pretty quick movement speed. Regardless, if you head up these stairs, you will find Private Beans. He's a little nog, and he doesn't really have that good of attack, so you should be pretty fine, though he does have 3 dedicated drops. That includes the Westergun SMG from Melywon, the Trevinator shotgun again from Melywon, and the front loader shield. Hopefully that shouldn't take you guys too long to get this one. It is a bit of a walk to the boss, but the boss fight itself is extremely easy to kill on all Vault Hunters. Up next, we have the Tsunami SMG by Melywon. As for elemental types, this thing is kind of strange. It shoots 3 different elements at once, or one of them is non-elemental, shock, and corrosive. I'll show you guys in action. It is a very strange weapon. It randomly changes, so there's non-elemental, shock, and then didn't even shoot corrosive that whole magazine. I will go again and I'll show you guys it does shoot corrosive. There we go, in a weird beam. It's extremely inaccurate. The bullet projectiles, they're very odd. But as for anointments, you can get anointments on it, like you can see it down the bottom there. It's not in the world drop system, so if you guys want to farm for this SMG, you'll have to go via the dedicated drop spot, being Katagawa Jr. Now, as for where to find Katagawa Jr., first you want to go to Promethea, then Atlas HQ towards the bottom here. From the fast travel station, it is a bit of a hike. That's currently where we are. We want to make it all the way to the back of the map and upstairs to this area just here. There's a little bit faster way to go from the news station though. You want to go, rather than to the right like you do in the main campaign, you want to run to the left. If you guys have seen how to get to the paratroopers, this is the fastest way also. That ledge just there, we'll see if we can do it from the first try. From the garden bed, look at that, run it and jump, press jump again and climb over the railing here. That is the fastest way to get up and around. From here, you'll find the paratroopers and you want to run just straight through them. From here though, just go around the balcony, come up this way and run all the way down this building until you make it towards the back where you'll get an elevator that takes you all the way up to the top. Once you get up the elevator, you'll make it to this area here. Just run straight out the elevator till you make it to where we currently are, just straight down that hallway. You'll find a news station just there, an ammo dump to the right, and then just jump down this hole and you will find the Katagawa Jr. boss fight. This guy does drop 3 dedicated drops, including the Storm Sniper Rifle, the Firestorm Sniper Rifle, as well as the Crossroads SMG. So it can take a little while to farm because he does have some weird immunity stages, but hopefully it doesn't take you guys too long to farm this one. Up next we have the Devoted SMG made by a melee one. This thing comes with every elemental type but does not come in non-elemental. As you can see, it comes with anointments and is in the world drop system. Though if you want to farm for this thing, the dedicated drop spot for it is Captain Traunt. Now as for where to find Captain Traunt, the legend himself resides in Athenas. From the drop pod location, it is quite a run unfortunately. If you zoom out here, you can see me up in the very top here, and this is the drop pod location. It is quite a run through all of these bandits. I honestly just ignore them and run all the way through. You can go across this bridge, up through this area, and you'll find eventually this area. There's only really one way to run once you go across that bridge. Find this news station right here. There's an ammo dump right outside his boss fight arena now, which is great. And this is Captain Traunt, the absolute legend. Now this guy has 3 dedicated drops in his loot pool, including the Tankman's Shield, which is actually a sniper rifle, as well as the Firestorm Grenade and the Devoted SMG by Melee One. There are 3 dedicated drops, so generally that would take a little while, but this is an extremely fast farm. Once you've made it through the drop pod area and you're actually farming him on repeat, the farm itself is extremely close to the news station. There's an ammo dump now, and most Vault Hunters with most builds can absolutely destroy Traunt in seconds. Up next we have the Kotzman SMG. This is no doubt the most popular SMG in the game since launch. This thing comes in fire, corrosive, and shock, as you can see on screen. This thing also comes with anointments and is in the world drop system. Though if you want to farm it via the dedicated drop location, that boss is Borman Nates. Now if you guys would like to farm this one, it is located in Promethea in the Meridian outskirts. From the Meridian outskirts fast travel station, which is currently where we are, just behind us here, jump in a car real quick, or if you're a Mara, just run really fast I suppose. Go out to the left. Once you get out through this opening, there's a little bandit camp up in the air just here. Jump on this platform and then jump up here again. I personally just run through all the psychos because otherwise it takes way too long to farm. But there is a boss enemy called Borminates, who was originally a rare spawn enemy in the game, but is no longer that. It spawns every single time, and he has 3 legendaries in his loot pool. That includes the Sorbar, the Kotzman SMG, as well as the Psycho Stabber pistol. Next we have the Spinner SMG. This thing comes in every elemental type, and it has 2 elemental types at once. You can change which element you're using via the arrow on the D-pad, or if you're using a keyboard, I believe C is the default key, which you can change if you would like. This thing comes in every elemental type but not non-elemental, and does come with anointments, as you can see at the bottom. It is also in the world drop system, but if you want to farm this one for its dedicated drop, its boss is the Power Troopers. You guys are going to have to go to Promethea and then to Atlas HQ, which is currently where we are. This is the fast travel station just here, and there's actually a really quick way to farm them relative to what most people would think. From the fast travel station, usually in the story, it makes you run out here all the way around, up these stairs and back all the way in. But you actually don't have to do that. I'll show you guys from the fast travel station just here. Run out this door, up the stairs, and then rather than turning right like you do in the story, you immediately turn left and head towards this balcony / platform thing up here. You guys are going to be farming the Power Troopers. They were originally a rare spawn enemy in the game, but now spawn every single time. But I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it first try. From the garden bed, run at that platform right there, and then jump as you get to it. Perfect. Usually you can get every time. I'm just a bit of a dirt. Then run towards this roof just here. You're going to be farming the Power Troopers, like I said, which are of course a Power Rangers reference. Sometimes if you shoot there, they come down a little bit faster. Now these guys do have 8 dedicated drops total, which is a crazy high number. It's the most dedicated drops of any one enemy, but the thing is, there's not one of them. There's 5. They can all drop any of the 8 at any given time. They usually drop multiple at the same time because there's 5 of them. They all have a chance to drop any of the dedicated drops. Like I said, there is 8 dedicated drops, so I'm going to read through the list for you guys. There are 2 grenades, being the Transfusion Grenade and the Surge. There is a shield called the Nova Burner. There's also 3 SMGs, including the Hyperfocus, the Spinner, as well as the Vanquisher. There's also the pistol, of course, which we're farming for, the Thunderbolt Fists, and there's also an assault rifle called the Star Helix that all drop from one of these 5 guys. So total 8 is a very high number for dedicated drops for one boss, but because there's 5 of them, if you spread it out, it's actually on average less per enemy here to farm. So it actually shouldn't be too difficult to farm for you guys. Up next, we have the final melee one SMG. It is the Kib's Worth. This thing comes with every elemental type except non-elemental. As you can see, it comes with 2 elements at the same time. You can change which element you're using by clicking the arrow on the D-pad of a controller, or if you're on keyboard, I believe C is the default, but you can change that to whatever you would like. As you can see, this thing comes with anointments as well. It is not in the world drop system. It only has one dedicated drop location, and that is Wotan the Invincible in the melee one takedown. Now, as for the melee one takedown, including the Valkyrie Sword and Wotan, if you guys have never done it before, from Marcus's place right here, you'll have to have completed the game first, and I believe the lowest you can spawn on is level 50, but this spot right here is where you'll accept the melee one takedown mission. Once you guys have accepted the mission, you've taken the Sanctuary ship to Midnight's Khan via the control panel thing on the bridge. You guys will have unlocked the Midnight's Khan area. This area is the entire boss fight arena mobbing, just absolute mayhem is what this area is. Now, as for the melee one takedown, both Valkyrie Squad and Wotan have a bunch of dedicated drops. I'm not going to read them all out, but I'll show them on screen. Both Wotan and Valkyrie share some dedicated drops, and then Valkyrie Squad have an extra 2 shields that are separated just to them as their dedicated drops, and then Wotan has a bunch of extra ones just for him as well. So I'll show them all on screen if you guys want to read through them, but you're more than welcome to pause the video now because I'm going to keep going through. If I read through them all, it's going to make this video a lot longer, and you already know how long this video is, so we don't want to make that longer. Up next, we have the T-Dot SMGs, starting with the Long Musket Plus. This thing is Elon Musk flamethrower reference, so it only comes in fire elemental, doesn't come in any other elements, and doesn't come in non-elemental. It does, as you can see, come with anointments, and it is in the world drop system. But if you want to farm for the perfect one, the dedicated drop location is Lagrimar. I believe that's how you pronounce it. You have to complete a quest to then obtain that boss and farm it, but I'll show you guys how to do that. Now, if you guys want to farm for this one, you're going to have to go to Pandora, and then down to Conrad's Hold, which is where I currently am. From the fast travel station, just run through this entire bandit camp area. To get all the way down here, in the back of the room, you'll find a elevator, go up, and then jump this bridge, run all the way throughout this room, turn to the right, jump down to this little area where I currently am from the drop down there, and we're here. There is a quest mission to complete called the Demon in the Dark. I'm not going to run through the entire mission for you guys because that will just take way too long, but for the first part, you have to find a lever, and this big area waypoint is literally just here. Pull this and the door will open. Okay, so for the next stage where you have to activate 3 Iridian ruins, they don't really give you that much context, but you do have to line up 3 of the rings and then shoot one of them. So for the first location, just jump up on here, it's not too difficult. Line up these 3 bad boys and shoot that thing. And then, there we go, we activated 1. Next, pretty simple, just jump down from where we were and then shoot this thing, second one. Then for the third, just from where we were over there, walk up to these 3, shoot that one. And we have all 3 open and the door opens. There we go, once we get to the end mission, just in this room here, I'll show it on the map for you guys. Once you run in from the original door, go all the way around. Once you process through the mission, you'll find this guy, Lagrimar, I think is how you pronounce it. Shoot this guy and he has a chance. Oh, I have a fire weapon. Hold up. Okay, he didn't drop it for us during the quest itself, but you guys can just complete the mission, then just save quit, go back in, and then just farm that guy on a loop. He does spawn back there every single time. The Flood does also share the dedicated loot pool from this guy with the Long Musket SMG, which is actually what dropped in the quest mission itself. Up next, we have the 10-gallon SMG. This thing comes with all elemental types, including non-elemental. As you can see, we have anointed on this one as well. It is in the world drop system, but if you guys want to farm for the perfect one, the dedicated drop spot for this one is Genevieve. Now, as for where to find Genevieve, first you want to go to Eden 6, then about halfway down you'll find a Voracious Canopy. From the fast travel station is probably one of the longest runs in the game, from a fast travel station to the boss. From the fast travel station, just keep following it all the way around to the right. It's the blue highlighted area. If you guys remember the main story, this is the Jacob's ship. It looks like a maze on the map, but there's only ever one way forward through the map, so just keep following the only other way there is to go. It's not too difficult, it just looks terrible on the map. Essentially, you want to make your way all the way to the end, in which I am currently at the New U station, which is literally right outside the boss fight. There's an ammo dump just there, but down through here you will find Genevieve, the mech. The boss fight itself, not too difficult. There's obviously, if you use a shock weapon, you shred her shields pretty easily, and then corrosive from there. Now Genevieve has 4 dedicated legendaries in their loot pool, including the Hunter Seeker grenade, the Messy Breakup shield, the 10-gallon SMG, and the Polybius, I think is how you pronounce it, shotgun. So 4 dedicated total. It probably will take you a little while to get one of these dedicated drops, but the boss fight itself honestly isn't too bad. It is pretty quick if you've got a tanky corrosive build. And the final SMG is the Smart Gun XXL by Tidor. This thing only comes in corrosive, no other elements, and no non-elemental. It does come with anointments, but it isn't in the world drop system. It is dedicated only to Gigamind. So if you want to obtain it, that is the only place in which you can get it. Now, as for where to find Gigamind, first you want to go to Promethea, then down to Meridian Metroplex. From the fast travel station is actually a super quick car ride. Just jump from the fast travel station to this catcher ride here. Zoom out here, turn right again, and then just drive in undercover to this area just here. Coming from there, that's the new station, and then the boss fight itself for Gigamind is super close. Just up these stairs, you'll find a Gigamind. This guy drops 3 dedicated drops total, including the red card shield, the Hell Shock Melee 1 pistol, as well as the Smart Gun XXL. The Smart Gun is the one that's dedicated just to him. It does not drop anywhere else, just this guy. The boss fight itself, though, is extremely easy. It's super close to the New Year station, and pretty much anyone on any level of Vault Hunter can absolutely destroy Gigamind super quick, and he drops a bunch of world drop legendaries, so it's just an all-around win-win. Probably one of my top 3 favorite farms. And that was every single legendary submachine gun in Borderlands 3 and their dedicated drops. If you guys found this helpful or enjoyable whatsoever, I'd really appreciate if you guys could smash subscribe down below. If you hit that bell, YouTube will notify you for whenever I post a video. If you guys want to help me out even more, you could like and share the video. It helps the channel grow even more, and that would be absolutely amazing. If you guys want to come check us out on Twitch, it's always linked in the description down below, or you can just search CodeMQ on Twitch. My name's the same on all my social media. Over on Twitch, it's usually just a great, fun place to hang out with people that like Borderlands 3. Just get up to random shenanigans and have fun. I stream every single day just after I post my YouTube videos, just so it's really easy to know when I'm streaming. But if you guys want to check the link, there's always a schedule just below my Twitch stream that's in everybody's time zones. You can check that out there if you'd like. Other than that, don't forget to check the description down below or the end card title screen. That'll have the playlist for all of the dedicated drops in Borderlands 3. One big playlist of all of them in one. It's going to be amazing. And yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I shall see you guys in the next video and or live stream. Till then, adios.